Welcome to Life Without the Game, everybody. My name is Baron Harris. Thank you for tuning in. I want to give you guys a quick, brief rundown on what my podcast is about and what you'll be watching. Life Without the Game was built off of your passion is greedy and your purpose is for others. And I wanted to create this platform to give people who are on any stage that performs to come on here and be themselves and show who they are and not really talk about more so what they do. So I know a lot of people, sometimes they get on their stages and when they're done performing that they have an identity crisis. And so I want to bring to you the best guests in the world, the best people in the world, and to actually get to know who they are. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you're just as excited as I am to watch. My dog, BP, welcome to Life Without the Game. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, brother.
Of course, bro. You know what it's about here, and I'm glad you're able to make it, and I'm glad you're here to, tell people, like, and inspire people, for real, you know what
100%,
I mean?
100%.
I want to start off by not only, we'll get into it a lot more, but tell everybody who you are and, like, about yourself.
I play ball. I play ball at Arizona State, and I graduated from there. Got my degree and played my last season at UCLA. But I'm much bigger than ball, and I've been figuring that out as of late. So, I'm glad you brought me on today because, it's something to talk about.
Man, for real. So, for those who don't know, me and Bryce, we went to school together in high school, but that's when we first kind of met. And but we kind of always been in the same area. Like, it ain't like you came from far away, like East Coast or something like that. Like, when he was up the hill, like I was up the hill, for real, and like the same at Rancho. Yeah. But I want to ask you, what is it that keeps you going? Because let's dive a little more deeper, because people don't really know who you are. Like, right? Like, Juco to Arizona State to UCLA. Like, we're going to kind of get away from that, but let everybody know what it is that, you do and your background.
I think as of late, what keeps me going is my family. Before it used to be just the drive to prove people wrong and do this and that, and I kind of realized how much I inspire the people around me, from my younger siblings to my older brother, like even my older family members. Like, I'm inspiring them because I'm doing more than what a lot of them have done. So I think that's what pushes me 90% of the time to get up every day and go get after it.
I love that, bro. So you are in, this is your last year at UCLA, or is this, you got one more year?
No, I'm done.
You're done. So what is it that you're thinking about doing?
Obviously,
if you haven't figured out.
Obviously, I want to pursue ball longer. I have other things I want to do as well, but I'm going to keep that, under wraps.
Okay, for sure. Let me ask you, what has been a big movement for you lately in your life?
Truthfully, just seeing, like, I know, we're not talking about ball as much, but just seeing that ball.
Talk about it, though.
Ball isn't everything. Like, you know how it is when we was growing up. Like, that was everything for us. High school, everybody loved us because we played ball. 100%. All of our friends is from ball. Right. So it's kind of everything, You've been around it for so long. And, it kind of gets to a point where it becomes your identity when it's really not. It's so much around. It's a bigger purpose. God has a bigger purpose for all of us. So it's like, just realizing that, taking my time with God and praying and really seeing, like, it's really more out here to life than, you losing your mind over the sport you play or the career that you have.
Definitely. And for me, I'd say, like, I kind of, like, went through that, like, right after high school. Like, like, you and all the guys kept pursuing ball and stuff like that. But for me, it kind of, like, hit home. Like, as soon as I was out of high school, I went to Sac State, tried to go play. Like, it just wasn't working. COVID was right around that time. And, like, I felt like God was, like, sitting me down, like, really trying to, like, tell me, like, yo, like, I have a plan for you. You know what I mean? And I kind of really wanted to see the difference. Like, I didn't know if God was telling me, like, yo, keep going, or like, trust what I have for you. And that was like one of the hardest things for me to kind of decipher. So I had to get more on my word. And it kind of just leads me to ask you, like, has there been anybody like that has given you really good advice, or like what was the best advice or worst advice you have received?
I think the best person that gives me advice all the time is my auntie. Like she's always in my ear whenever I go to make a decision. Like if I'm down about something, I call her up. She the first person to go and be like, hey, yeah, like this is what you got to do. It's not no specific advice I've gotten, but I think my aunt and then y'all, for example, like all my homies, like, it wasn't necessarily advice, but y'all kind of showing me like, this is not who defines you, and just seeing y'all like you being done after high school, like, and seeing Dev, like, when you get to college and you have to deal with that lifestyle, and it kind of gets amplified even more because you got fans coming after you now and all that stuff, and it's like you kind of really get lost in the sense of yourself. And when whenever we came home, we was around each other, we was spending time with each other, it really showed you like life was this at a point before it was
100%.
Yeah.
And speaking on that, like you talked about your auntie, what was she a pivotal part in your upbringing, like growing up? Like, did she play a pivotal role?
100%. My aunt practically raised me with my mama. I was raised by all women, and they did a good job with me, especially her. She's been there through everything. She didn't know a lick about ball, but she took everything in her power to learn, and she put time, effort, money, knowledge, everything into it. And she always made it a point to me, even though I ain't listen half the time. But she always made it a point, like, it's more out here to do than just, play ball. But she done taught me everything from my morals and how I move in life, my style, and how I want to carry myself in public, how I want people to look at me.
What would you say is like some of the morals you stand on? Like, what are some core values of yours today?
God, number one, always. I feel like I wouldn't even be at this point without God. And it's crazy my journey I went on to get to that, because we had art always in high school, but before that, like, I really, like, we was in the church and all that, but I wasn't raised, in a church household, And, once I went on that walk, on that journey, it took a hard time to understand, like, everything is on his time and not mine. And, the more I got into my word and I spent time with him, the better results I got, and the happier I felt. It's not even just about the results. It's just knowing that you blessed in general.
Right, and I love that you talk about the journey, because a lot of people don't know like how that journey is, and everybody's journey is different, right? But what it really takes to walk in your shoes, you know what I mean? Like, and I want to ask you, like, how do you overcome hard things in your journey? Like, how do you deal with that?
It's the same answer, God. Like, I get in my word. As of late, I'm not gonna lie, I've been journaling. Journaling helps a lot. You know, from your goals, from how you feeling today, all that stuff. Like, that's the kind of stuff that in the sport we played, and just men in general, like, it was always looked at like, that's soft, you don't do that. But I don't know. I think as I've started doing it, like, it's kind of helped me, like, day by day, get on with my goals, what's my goal for the day, or how I'm feeling for the day, kind of letting stuff out. Because as men, we kind of hold that back.
What would you say, like, is, like, for me, because I journal too, I journal a lot. Like, I journal about my thoughts, feelings, goals. Like, sometimes I just write my prayers in there. And I definitely would say, like, that's a piece for me, and an escape from reality too, somewhat of a bit. And it's something I encourage a lot more people to do. A lot of, like you said, a lot of people, especially like men, think that we deal with a lot, and I feel like we kind of have it where we have to provide and serve and be a good servant to a lot of other people, and that puts a lot of pressure on our shoulders.
100%.
And some guys or men don't know how to deal or exalt that pressure. You know what I mean? So what would you say, like, for somebody who doesn't know, like, do you have anything else besides journaling that like you've kind of like dealt with or like that have brought you peace? Like I know like that's one of the big ones.
Yeah.
So
Just never to be afraid to be yourself. I feel like we live in a society today. It's to impress the next person.
right.
And if you can look yourself in the mirror every day and be impressed with what you put out there to the world every day, that's more than enough.
Right.
And I feel like everything is like especially on social media, like it's a flex off. Like everybody wants to show they got this and that, and really, there's no substance behind it.
Right.
Besides, you being your true authentic self and putting that out there, like.
It's a lot of frauds today.
A lot of frauds.
A lot of frauds.
A whole lot of frauds.
a lot
We
of
can
frauds
talk about
today.
it.
The best version of yourself. What does that look like?
The best version of myself is being able to do what I want when my family is good, knowing that they don't got to worry about a thing, and being around friends and family. I feel like friends for me at a point became family. Like
Right.
all of us, like we are brothers. Everybody who I've been friends with, like started off as a friend. Our friendships have gone so well. We may not even talk to each other all the time,
Right.
but when we talk, it's like we just click like we grew up together, So friends and family, that's for
I love
sure.
that. Speaking of friends and family, like, man, we got a tight circle.
We do.
We've been like rocking for a minute, like a cool minute now, and it's like God still provides, and it's hard to keep that kind of tight circle. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to keep a closed circle as we get older. Like going on 10 years, I want to say now, since the beginning of high school. So something for people who deal with things, or I would say like rejection. How would you talk about that or pivot to that within the part of your life where right now you're kind of figuring out what ball is going on, what's going on, and where you're finna go from there? Like, how would you kind of speak on rejection or something may not being for you? You know what I mean?
What's funny is rejection is something I'm not, I'm very familiar with actually, because I've been rejected in the sport I've been countless of times. Right. From high school, trying to make it to Division I, to junior college. I had a couple hardships, and even at the Division I level, like I've ran to a few hardships, but in the end, like I know I keep saying the answer, but you run a guy and anything is possible. Right. But honestly, believing in yourself, like we always say, bet on ourselves, but people say bet on themselves and really don't be doubling down on that.
I know.
We say all money in and nobody be ready to put the chips out. You feel me? And I feel like that's a major thing. Like I think what pushed me this far with God is me betting on myself, me putting my head down and working. Even if the world hasn't seen me in forever, like I'm gonna put my head down and work. When I pop out and you see me, that's when you see me.
I love that. Real deal, like, cause I struggle with this, like not as far as like where I'm at now, but I have, like, do you ever get complacent or like too comfortable?
It's easy to get complacent.
Like I feel like, and that's something I struggle with.
It's very easy to get complacent.
I'm like wondering, like, do you go through that? Like, I know a lot of people do, but like, is that something you do?
Bro. Everybody do, and I'm one of them for sure. Because you get into a space where you feel like life is good, and what can go wrong. You kind of just lay back and get lax. Right. I can't say exactly what moment I have, but I for sure have gotten complacent a few times, and it kind of takes for you to bump your head again and wake up and be like, what am I doing? Let's get back in that bag. Yeah.
I love that. How would you deal with that? You know what I mean? Like, how do you deal with not being too comfortable? How do you get out of that? Like, do you ever challenge yourself to do things that you're not comfortable with, or like going outside of your comfort zone?
Just always looking back on where I was and looking at where I am now. Not that, I'm always hard on myself. I'm one person that's really hard on myself, and I always say, like, I haven't done much. And I think that's what continues to push me. And, like, it sucks sometimes because people around me be like, you don't ever give yourself enough credit. But I think that kind of just drives me to want to push to do more, to say I've done something. I could have done everything you could think of in the world success-wise, and I would still sit back and say I have not done enough.
Man, but I feel like, bro, like, you do got to give yourself like a pat on the back. Like
Yeah.
you've beat the average Joe and the odds. Like you definitely, like, let's just talk about it. Like dudes like us are not supposed to be where we're at. You know what I mean? And like, bro, you're a standout guy, stand up dude. So you've done it. Like I feel like you beat the odds of Juco. You know what I mean? Like you went D1, then you transferred, went to an even bigger D1. You know what I mean? And like, and are performing at it. Like not just like sitting, chilling. Like no, like you working every day, getting up, grinding, performing. What goes into the grind, like, and what goes into your character of like keeping you to be so persevered to doing all this and just focused?
A lot of sleepless nights, you know, a lot of nights of just not even just worrying. It's just like, what's the next move? How I'm gonna attack it? What am I going to do to get there?
Right.
Praying, you know, and waking up and, you know, taking action. You know, they always say a dream is nothing left on the pillow. So, you know, just getting after it. You know, I've had plenty of dreams that I've succeeded in. You know, kind of looking back at the work I put in, like COVID 2020, when everybody was in the house and sick and stuff, I was out daily grinding.
Yeah.
And I kind of like look back at that time and really like thank myself for doing that, because Lord knows where I would have been. I probably wouldn't have a college degree right now, you know?
Man.
So.
No, I love that, bro. How would you say that during a time like where COVID is going on and you're grinding and you busting your tail, like how do you stay focused? You said a lot of sleepless nights, but what keeps you going? You know what I mean?
Keeps me going. My family, like I said before, like my younger brother.
How many siblings you got?
I got a few. I got like 9 total.
Really?
Yeah. And out of all of them, I'm the only one that plays sports. So I ain't really have nobody to look up to in that regard. So just mogul figures, you know. I will sit back and watch. I'll watch Nip. I'll watch Kobe. I'll watch any big player that's gone through the same grind that I went through and how he went through it. I got a family member that's in the league, and seeing how, you know, looking back on how he went through, what he went through to get to the space he's in right now, you know. So just surrounding myself by powerful figures, whether that be my friends, whether that be somebody I watch, whether that be family, like, and getting game. Game is the biggest thing that, you know, push us anywhere, because we always got room to learn.
100%, bro. What are you currently like learning about yourself?
That I'm talented and I got way more left in the tank. If, you know, let's say ball were to end tomorrow, like,
where does your mind go?
If
ball ends tomorrow, where does your mind go?
What's next? What's the next move? And that's honestly, this is currently what it's on now. Because let's say I do get blessed enough to play in the NFL. It's still not. It's not a long time. You know, it's called NFL for a reason.
Yeah, not for long.
Yeah, and you know, it's like, what's the next move? What's the next career I want to go into? And not even really like chasing it for the money or nothing. Really just chasing it for what else can I go be passionate at. I kind of told myself the other day, you know, I worked so hard to get to this in this career. What's the next thing I could do and attack it the same way? So
I love that, bro. If you can tell somebody one thing, like who's where you are, you know what I mean? Like, and doesn't, like, let's just say like the stage is not there and they're trying to figure out how to navigate. Like, what's the best advice you would give to somebody in that position, and how would you encourage them to navigate? Because sometimes I feel like, especially people like us and being in ball or playing, like a lot of dudes feel like that's the only route. And I feel like I stress that it's not. You know what I mean? Like during the whole time, I sat down for 2 years still. And during that time, I feel like God really was kind of asking me, like, are you going to trust me? You know what I mean? And in that time, it was a time of patience. But I felt like I didn't know who I was, because normally for me, I would introduce myself like, yo, my name is Baron. I play ball at Rancho Cucamonga High School.
Yep.
And it was kind of weird, because it's like you learn these bad habits, and it's like trying to teach a old dog new tricks, right? Like I have to unlearn that now. Like my name is Baron. I don't play football, so it's like, who really am I? You know what I mean? And what is something that you would give to somebody who would have been in my shoes or is currently, you know what I mean? Like in trying to figure out where to navigate.
To piggyback off what you said, I never tell anybody I meet that I play ball. Maybe a few times I have, but there's a lot of times when I'm out and I'm meeting people, I don't tell them I play ball because I don't want them to label me as Bryce, the football player.
Right.
You know, I want them to know me for Bryce, the dude I just met, cool dude, whatever. You know, and that's kind of helped me a lot too because it's like it kind of show you that people. Because in the sport, you kind of run into people who really mess with you because you play ball.
Right.
You know, and when you start introducing yourself as who you are and not the sport, you know, you kind of run into a lot of cool, genuine people. I done met so many cool people along the way doing that. And, you know, it's helped me a lot. And just finding a sense of yourself outside of your career in general, you know, like, I know you, when you was done, you found so much cool things that you didn't know about yourself.
Right.
And you was like, I could have found this way earlier. You feel me?
But it's like God's divine perfectness. Like, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't meant for me to find earlier, but like it was like who I was able to still keep me of who I am and get me into rooms where I figured out that maybe it's not me playing sports, but maybe it's me doing things like the pod, or like maybe it's me doing things of being a sports management. Like, you know what I mean? Like being able to still be around it, but, you know, be who I am and be where God wants me to be and where my purpose is. You know what I mean? And I feel like that was something that it did not happen overnight. And I feel like a lot of today's generation and even these upcoming of kids, like it's a whole lot of instant gratification. Like now, like I want it now, you know what I mean? And it doesn't happen just now. Like, talk about how long it took you to even get to where you are now.
Years, bro. Years. Like, I was in junior college, and I seen dudes younger than me kind of pass me up. And I'm like, damn.
That's
like,
tough.
Like, it's hard. And then seeing all the homies go to school, whether it's football-wise or just regular. Like, you know, I'm at home in the Inland Empire. You know how slow it get out there, bro. And I'm at home out there. I got homies at school. They having a good time. I got friends that's living life. They taking trips and stuff, and I'm just like, damn, I'm here. Nothing going on. But something I learned when I got to Arizona, and I never realized it, that I always done it. You talk about instant gratification. A man taught me, one of my mentors in Arizona, he taught me delayed gratification. And, you know, just when somebody give you credit or something good happen, you kind of just be like, oh, thank you. Not like really brushing it off, like you acknowledge it, but knowing there's more out there to go get and not being done yet. You know, like Kobe said, job not finished. So, you know, that's what's helped me get this far. You know, it's been a long journey, 6 years, and 3 of them being in Juco. Probably one of the hardest. Juco's probably one of the hardest. It was the hardest part of me being in college in general. And you know, I look back at it. And I was looking at that time like, damn, like, why am I in Juco? Like, what am I doing here?
It's
and
tough.
When I look back at it, I'm like, those is probably the best years of my life because I grew up so much and you know, I met so many good people who was going through the same struggle. Yeah.
I kind of want to, like, get to and steer things to, like, your purpose. And do you think that your younger self will thank you for where you are today?
100%. Because all the things I've done so far, younger me was like dying to get there. I was, you know, watching college football on Saturdays as we was kids. We we want to be there. And the fact that I was able to do that and play in some of the stadiums I dreamed of playing in, Death Valley.
Boy, I done went to the game.
Valley. Yeah.
I done went to the game. It was rumbling in there,
bro. Like the Rose Bowl, even like going on the road and seeing how the environment really is. It's really it's one thing seeing it on TV, and it's one thing actually being in it. And it's like, oh wow, like I'm really here. You know, you can kind of catch yourself. I caught myself a few times like getting a little emotional. Like, you know, this is what the hard work has got me to, and you know, the game days is kind of like celebration for me. Like, you know, let's go celebrate, let's go have fun and play ball. So,
do you feel like do you feel like you're walking in your purpose, or do you feel like this is a stepping stone into your purpose?
This is a stepping stone into my purpose. Whether it's ball or not, like I think it's a stepping stone into my purpose. I always like brought up to my aunt, like I always feel like I get the hard way. And it seems like people get it so easy.
Right.
But I think, my purpose at some point is gonna be to inspire someone who's younger than me. And I got a younger brother who wanna do what I'm doing right now. And, he not really gonna know what to do once you get to that point. And the fact that I've been through it and can guide him through, and even if it's not even in ball, like if you wanna go into something like anything, I could be my brother's stepping stone, and not even just my brother, my homies, my anybody around that I can inspire. Like, I feel like my purpose is to go and inspire whoever's around.
What do you feel like? To your point about the inspiring people, that's what the purpose is for. So I say your passion is greedy, your purpose is for others. You know what I mean? Because what we do, like whatever Bryce does, like he may just love doing it because that's what you love. And I had to learn that. Like I'd be like, nah, I got something for you over here. Like whatever you doing over there, like trust me, this is gonna help not only you but other, more importantly, people around you.
Yeah.
And do you know like where you want to help people at, and do you know like the direction you want to take, like you being you, or
I don't know
are you still
exactly,
figuring it out?
I don't know exactly where I want to help people at, but I know I want to help in some way. I want to be able to be that stepping stone that I had when I was a kid for someone else, and I want to be that inspiration that a kid has. It's like we always see them stories of how someone worked so hard to get to that point. I kind of want to be that story for someone, to be, inspiring, especially be around a lot of those kids and being able to talk to kids when we do camps or when you just after a game, you talk to the kids. Like, it's pretty dope because you was there at a point, and it's like, this kid wants to be in my position.
Right.
And
they look up to you.
Yeah, they look up to you. And I thought it was dope. So it's like, why not want to be something for somebody to look up to?
100%. Would you say, like, what has been something for you that has been a pivotal, when I say a pivotal, like, I mean, like, that when you encounter things of you like your journey is to Juco, then Juco to another school, and then it's not really going how you wanted at that school to another school, like, not football related, but character related, character development. Like, how has that developed your character? Going through, I wouldn't call it rejections, but just crooked sticks turning into straight sticks. God using them to make straight sticks.
I think it taught me humbleness. I'm very humble, and sometimes too humble. And I think just that alone has pushed me to go as far as I wanted to go, and taught me that the sky's the limit. And I just humble.
Because, well, let me say this, because going through those things, right, that you went through, it feels like it's a battle, it's a fight. Where in that is it developing your character? Like, the humbleness is I love that, bro. Like, where is it like that if you can give somebody a gym who's going through it, like, what gets them through it? Like, when they're up against that wall and things aren't working out and they trying to navigate, what gets them through it? What would you tell them?
Keep going, keep rolling, keep fighting, keep doing what it is that you love. You can't ever let nobody around, or because I've had, like we said, a lot of rejection. I've had a lot of that, and I think at a point I've always wanted to tell people, show people that I can do what you say I can, and I think you having that push to say, wanting to prove people wrong and prove to yourself like you can do whatever you put your mind to. I think that's one of the dopest things that I've learned for myself.
I love that, bro. What would you say fear is to you? Because I know, like, you taking a leap of faith, like you risk taking. You know what I mean? Like, you like, I'm going here, and if it don't work out, like, what is fear to you?
I can't lie. I really remember how Art used to always tell us, no fear.
Yeah, no fear.
I kind of ride with that. Ride with that because it's like, if we fearing of whatever it is that we doing, how are we gonna be able to take that risk? Take the leap of faith of what it is.
Right.
It's kind of like, if God got it for us, if it's there, then we going with it. But
Right.
if it's not, it's just a lesson, a stepping stone of, what's next, and yeah, I don't have no fear at all. And I think if I've had fear, I wouldn't even made it to this point thus far.
That's big, bro. Yeah. I think like some people can be fearful of success or just of pivoting, like changing direction because something might not be going the way they see it or like how it might be. And sometimes like fear can like hold you back. And I think it's just big to like know that, like we talk about like in TTGOG, like there is no fear. You know what I mean? Like you have to, if you don't take that leap of faith, if you don't take that jump, you might not know if you land. Like, and if you stumble, then you get back up and you keep walking. You know what I mean? But you'll never know unless you get to the other side.
That's why fear. I mean? That's why fear shouldn't even be a factor into it, because you would never know.
Facts.
There's a lot of things I've done, like if I ain't do it, like I wouldn't even be at the point I got to. So it's just like, why fear? Just take it on head on. If you fall, dust yourself off and get right back to it.
Get back up. I love that, bro. I want to talk about family. Like I know we touched on it a little bit earlier. You said you got a lot of siblings.
Yeah.
Who, what you do now, who did you choose to do it for? Yourself or for them? Or whoever. It doesn't have to be for them.
What I do now. Obviously everything I do would be for them, but really for myself. Because at the end of the day, they don't got to wake up and do what I do on a daily.
Facts.
And they don't got to go through the hardships that I go through. And like I'm always fight and do everything I can for them. But if you can't do nothing for yourself, what good are you going to be to your family?
Right.
And that's probably I learned that probably last year. If I can't provide for myself, I can't provide for them. So I'll 100% do it for myself.
I love that, bro. What was the worst advice you've received?
It was actually when I was in middle school.
We're going way back.
We had an I don't know why I remember this, but we had like a little after school program, and this dude, he's asking everybody our dreams. And me, I got ginormous dreams. Like it's been like this since I was a little kid. Yeah. And when I told the dude mine was like one of the last questions. He went to the little whiteboard, and it was kind of one of them football talks. And then he was saying in general with any avenue, he was like, maybe you should shorten your dreams and think about doing this, and that.
Let me say this, bro. Like, who are you to tell me to shorten my dreams? Like, I feel like you kind of always hear people talk about, it's always a teacher who's telling somebody, like, you're dreaming too big. Like, why? I don't get why people would even say that. Or, like, who are they to say that? Yeah. And, like, look at you now. You know what I mean? Like, done knocked off every goal you set. So, I feel like that's crazy, though.
Wow.
Like, out of pocket, like, I ain't gonna cap.
Yeah, that's wild. But
that's crazy. What would you say, or who would you say, is your biggest influence to you?
My biggest influence is my auntie. That is probably.
Who's your auntie? Can we get a name? Cause
my auntie is Tammy Hawkins.
Tammy Hawkins. Thank you, Tammy Hawkins, for the man's today.
She's a very successful woman, and a lot of the things that she has done in her life, I feel like I'm like walking in her steps right now. She's had a lot of success, lived a lot of life, and she's just so inspirational, such a powerful woman that I had the blessing to grow up under, because she teach me I can do anything to put my mind to. She didn't own businesses and had nice lives, buy houses and everything, and I always tell her, like, I want to get back to where you were, but better, so, and I always like thank her for that.
I love that. What role, like, has she played into your character development? Has she ever, like, had to get into you, like you ever been, like, out of pocket around her and, like, she kind of had to correct you on something?
I ain't gonna lie, she kind of played the role like my dad. Like, my dad not around, so she played the role like she was my dad in my life, like teaching me game, and it's kind of hard because they don't know everything that a male go through. 100%. But she did a damn good job of it, though. I
love that.
Put me on game. That's probably one of the smartest women I've ever met, and I'm greatly appreciated.
That's good.
Just taught me to be humble, taught me to go after my dreams, taught me to get wherever I want, and set a time time length for your goals, and if you don't get it, extend it. So,
if you don't mind me asking, and if it's too much, let me know. But how has that motivated you? Like, have you grown from not having your pops around? Like, or how have you dealt with that for the young ones who are in that situation now?
Yeah.
Who it plays a role into who they're trying to become and who they are. Like,
truthfully, it really like it's affecting me. I'll keep it a buck, but not nothing crazy, you know.
Yeah.
It kind of just taught me like when I get older and I get into that lifestyle, like I'm not gonna be that way,
right.
And it kind of just helped me. It helps with my siblings too, you know. When they, you know, we all grow up the same. You know, most of our fathers aren't around, and whenever they have that feeling, and I know where they were, and I know how they feel in that time, I can always step in for them. So it didn't really affect me much. Honestly, taught me to drive more and go more. So you know, my pops see me on TV.
Yeah, facts.
He like, damn, you know.
Facts.
So
no, I love that, bro, and I love that. Like, you're a good big brother to do that, because sometimes it's people out there who deal with that now, like absence and whatever, and it's good that you are feeling like that, not feeling, but feeling that in the right direction to be a better example for your brothers and sisters and to lead them in the right direction. And, bro, like, for everybody else who you don't know, you know what I mean? Because it's somebody who deals with that too, everybody. And for me, myself, bro, like, going through, I'm not too familiar with that, but going through what my parents went through, like their divorce and everything like that, bro, like, it's definitely in the midst of everything, you don't really know the direction and the whys and everything behind it. But God uses everything together for our good, and like He never leaves nor forsakes. So
you know what also helped with that though. I've had a lot of good men come in my life, and I don't
talk about it.
It wasn't nothing ever. Nobody I called pops, but like you got to think like mentors, yeah, like Jason Burrell, he always been there for me. R. Hall, he always been there. Coach Wash, he always been there, and you know. When you got people like that, it kind of make you forget that you don't even got a pops. You got people who need to be in there in them type circumstances. Right. No,
it's a figure. It's a figure.
You just need a figure in your life, right? So that you know, them three alone have helped me ginormously. You know, so
I love that, bro. I love that, and that makes me, man. Art was like Art, like with the TTGOG, like him, I feel like that was he played a great mentor role for us. And a lot of the gems he said when we was in high school still stick today. You know what I mean? Like we talked about the no fear, but it was like, I feel like every school or every team should have that kind of fellowship. Yeah. Because I feel like that was the time where we needed to be kind of like pruning, like, or like we needed to be poured into, and that was exactly what they were doing. They were like watering us when we were young, but have gave us information and knowledge that still has stuck with us today. Yeah. And that has helped us walk into our purpose as well. Like, because like we said, like they talked about it even in the TTGOG, that ball was not for everybody, and everything that you're going to be doing, and it's different purposes in life that God is going to use us for. Yeah. So I love that, bro.
And TTGOG means to the glory of God.
100% to the glory of God. Yeah. So I love that, you know, they were there for us and everything like that. How important is relationships to you?
Oh, very, very. The relationships I have in my life today, whether that be with my brothers, with my siblings, anybody I've met along the way, are very important. I think relationships from the closest people to me, though, is probably the biggest thing. Like, it helped because they helped me get to where I want to be right now. Like, y'all have been there every step of the way. Y'all done seen me go through 100%. Everything I've been through, and y'all done gave me game along the way. Y'all done gave me motivation. Y'all done shown me love just to keep going. Right. And you know, you don't get that from many groups. You know, and you know, it's like it's like an extended family. And so those relationships, you know, are huge. Like, y'all gonna be people like I have my wedding one day, you know, that type. So it's like, you know, all those is huge for me. And then relationships with people I've met along the way, I feel like it's huge because, you know, relationships get you anything you want in this world, you know?
They say,
everybody.
Who you know, not what you know?
Who you know, not what you know. And,
For real.
man, you know, the more people, I've met so many people along the way, and it kind of like helped me have a stepping stone to getting to where I want to get to, because, you know, like you said, who you know, not what you know, because a lot of these people, you know, a lot of the industries, business, ball, the movie industry, a lot of people, they know somebody and they can go put in a quick word. Like it starts you jump shot.
But bro, like you in the heart of relationships. I feel like you are in UCLA, like LA, like have you, like, has it been like points where you've been able to network with people, or like think you kind of connect with people out here?
Not too much. We was in like fall camp all year, but
locked in.
But I in the summer I had a few times, and you know, it's LA. It's easy to run into somebody and they easily tell. But UCLA also did a good job of, they brought people in from like Warner Brothers and just different big companies, and have them come sit down and talk to us, and then we would go in. We would go down after and talk to them, and they give us their email and phone number. That's one thing they did do a good job of, like sending that, you know, putting us in them rooms.
In them rooms,
real.
Like you get your big toe in the room, it's over.
Because I mean, UCLA, you think of how many big, high-powered people that went to that school, no matter if it's in the industry or in the business side.
Right.
Like, it's so many people that went to that school. So but yeah, that was
y'all big on film out there too, huh? Like, y'all got a lot of film cats out there.
Yeah, for sure.
No, that's dope. Yeah, relationships are important, man. And, and I feel like people treat them as if they're not, you know, and they'll be quick to burn a bridge. And I can't tell you how many times, like, you got to cherish a relationship. You meet somebody, you come across somebody, like, you got to cherish, like, bro, like I said, almost 10 years since we met. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it goes a long way. And it's good to cherish those. You know what I mean?
Yeah, burning the bridge is huge. I try to never burn a bridge, no matter what kind of relationship it is.
Facts.
Like, not even just you never know when you need them, but it's just like, just to my core, like, I want to know at least if me and that person don't talk anymore, if me and that person aren't involved anymore, like, I was good to that person at every point I was around them. And if I wasn't, you know, I rekindled it, you know? Yeah. So I always try to make sure I don't burn any bridges with nobody.
That's good, bro. That's good. We need more people like that, bro.
Real.
People just be quick,
burn
something out. I got some rapid questions for you.
Let's do it.
More money or more time?
More time.
Really? Why?
Because, well, when you say more time, you like just say in general?
More time, like, yeah. Like, we got 24 hours a day. You might get 27, 28.
Yeah, because some days, like, when I'm feeling real productive, like, I be feeling like the day be like that. I be like, I wish I had a little more time in the day. Because, I mean, more time, you get more time in the day, you're getting after it. Could lead to you get more money. So
yeah, facts.
More time for sure.
What would you say is your top 3 movies?
Top 3 movies. That's a good question.
For all my people out there, like, they like watching television. It could be TV or movies, but something new to watch.
Top 3 movies. Pursuit of Happiness.
Will Smith.
Fruitvale Station.
Okay.
Really good movie.
Bay Area.
And then I'll do a comedy movie. I'll do any of the Fridays. Like Friday at the next. Yeah. But any of them.
Okay, for sure. Give me your top 3 comedians.
Top 3 comedians?
Yeah.
Mike Epps. Cat Williams.
Okay. This is a strong third. I want to let you know before you just go out and throw anybody out there.
I know. So I'm gonna leave somebody out.
It's bound to happen, but you got to give a good third. You
Mike Epps, Cat Williams. I'll say. Oh, that's hard. Probably Chris Rock. I'll throw Chris Rock. I can't think off the top of my head for the third
Chris
one.
Rock?
No. Mike Epps, Cat Williams, and Chris Tucker. There we go.
Chris Tucker, cool. I give you Chris Tucker. He got all the rush hours.
Yeah.
I thought you was going to say Eddie Murphy.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's hard.
Eddie Murphy.
That's hard.
Bernie Mac.
Yeah. Bernie, damn.
Okay.
You're right. You good. That's good. We not going to go any
That's a wrap, everybody. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Life Without the Game. I want to thank my guest, Bryce Pierre, for being on here, bro. You know, it's love. Appreciate you, bro.
Always.
Thank you for always showing up. I want to tell everybody out there, like, comment, subscribe, and be aware for more content coming out. Thank you.